Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I stole it.
Copy my whole fucking flow!
Oh,
word for word,
shit.
bar for bar!
And we're back. 10 hundo and 1. 1001 is out. It's been out for over a week now, but I've been marinating on it, and you know, it's always salve season over here, so I had to take a break from my paternity leave to come out and talk with you guys about a couple of thoughts I've been having. You know, certified drip.
Certified drip. Yeah.
The savagery never stops, never sleeps, guys. It never sleeps. All right, sav season is every season.
Savage.
Okay, so 1001, crazy hype. Arguably better than 1000. Not objectively. 1000 is objectively the better chapter. All right, we're gonna be able to look back at 1000 years from now and know that it was the better chapter, right? But for the time being, 1001, way more hype, way more stuff to talk about, way more exciting overall. Best part of the chapter for me was Zoro breaking out that Foxfire style. Now, this was foreshadowed for years, right? Anytime that we've ever seen Kinemon do his, like, fire-cutting techniques, Zoro was right there, very close by, to comment or to give a side eye to it or anything like that, and has even made it clear that he wanted to learn it. Now, when did he learn it? That's the question, right? We don't know. There's no context for this. He just broke it out. But that's how Oda does things, you know, he just gives it to you. My hope is that this was something that happened while the Sanji rescue team was over at Whole Cake Island. You know, that Zoro had a moment with Kinemon and said, hey, look, now's the time. Nobody else is around. We're not in the middle of anything. Teach me this right now, bro. I need this. This needs to be a part of my arsenal. I would like that more than if it happened in that, like, you know, week or two span in between the raid. So yeah, so that's sort of my hope with that. But either way, that was super hype. Now, the main thing that I want to talk about today is 1000 made everything look really good, right? So, you know, anybody that, you know, is on the train of the raid is going to fail. After 1000, you know, we all had to kind of sit back and say, but is it? Because, I mean, Luffy's looking real good, right? Came in here, Red Rock, a lot of hype, a lot of build-up, you know, big Pirate King energy. But then we come into 1001 and, you know, it's like, you know, we're back to the basics. 1001 did not instill confidence in me that we're going to win right now. Now, certain things can happen, right? And of course, Haki blooms, you know, in the battle. But we got confirmation that Kid does not know Rio. And that Zoro has not mastered it or feels like he has any sort of, like, real handle on it. He basically says in this chapter, like, man, I gotta get a better handle on Enma. Meanwhile, you're up against 2 emperors, bro. Like, you don't have the time for this. Now, we've seen things like this before. You know, in Eni's lobby, all of the characters pulled things seemingly out of their asses, right? So we could see things like that happen as the fight progresses. That, you know, like in the fight with Katakuri, things start to click for everybody, you know. But, I mean, Rio seems very complicated. And if Zoro and Kid can get a handle on it in this battle alone, it's going to make Luffy look crazy, right? Because it took him well over a week to even, you know, like, get the basics of what this is. So I'm kind of feeling here, guys, I'm kind of back on the train that things are not looking good. Yeah. Now, from a writing standpoint, because as I've said before, I'm a writer. You know, you try to do things in threes, right? We had the amazing panel of Luffy getting one hit KO'd by Kaido in Act 1, right? Now we're in Act 3. He used Thunder Bagua again. It's drawn exactly the same. You know, it's like he just traced the image of Kaido doing it, but there's a difference here. Instead of getting one hit KO'd, Luffy gets nicked. That's it. He doesn't completely dodge it. Shows that there is still a power disparity between Kaido and Luffy. So, now, there's a rule of threes in writing. You don't have to always follow it, but Oda has in the past. Especially against villains. We've seen it before. Look at the crocodile fight. He gets stabbed, beaten, right? Then there's the water Luffy part of it. And then there's, the actual final battle. So right now, I believe that we are still in the water Luffy stage, where, he's shown up to battle. He has this thing in his pocket that he thinks is going to actually, seal the deal, which is the Rio. But it's not completely there yet, and ultimately Luffy beat Crocodile with his own blood. So there might need to be some sort of a twist here that's going to come later. We could still get, TTK. Got to feed the agenda, right? It's not really an agenda. It's just, there's just foreshadowing for it. But it's fun to play all of that, right? But basic thing that I'm getting at here is that I'm imagining a scenario where there is a third Thunder Bagua, right? But in that third case, whether that's Act 5 or whatever, because we're probably within a kabuki play structure, which is 5 acts, and we're in Act 3 of it. Now, if this was, an American story or, or anything like that, this would be the final act. But the assumption is that we are in a kabuki play, so we're going to have 5. Act 3 is the tragedy act. We're getting very close to a tragedy, most likely. And what bigger tragedy would there be than having, over 5,000 people riding for you, and you all got to go home with your tail between your legs? Yeah. I'm imagining a third Thunder Bagua, but in that third one, Act 5, whenever Luffy goes up against Kaido for the third time, he stops the Thunder Bagua, or completely dodges it. But I'm imagining something where he grabs it and holds it, or maybe even tanks it, which could be a parallel to when he fought Alvida in Chapter 2. He gets hit with Alvida's Kanabo, which is the same weapon that Kaido is using. And what does he say? He cheekily smiles and he says, "That doesn't work on me." Doesn't work. So let's see Luffy tap into those rubber powers to the point where Kaido's Kanabo, mace, whatever you want to call it, his weapon, doesn't work on Luffy. Oda loves his parallels. He loves them. So I could see a scenario where something like that happens. And that's where the real hype would be. That's the payoff. As a writer, that's the payoff. You do all of this setup work, you get all of this together, and then boom, you pay it off there. That would be exciting. That would be epic. And Zoro, he's got to get a mastery of Rio. Kid needs to learn it. Law needs more offensive capabilities. He's looking crazy out here just throwing rocks. I hope he's got a bigger plan than that. And then my guy Killer just looks like he's about to, trade his t-shirt in for a Straw Hat shirt. This is like, yeah, okay. Now that I've seen what Straw Hat could do, maybe we can actually win. Which means he came into this fight believing that he was going to lose anyway, which he's a, total ride or die for that. But, wow. He's really looking like a Straw Hat fanboy in this chapter.
Savage.
I like the back and forth between Zoro and Killer. That's very fun. And by the way, Zoro, Bandana Boy. The bandana is back. It's bandana time. You know, it's like Ash Ketchum putting the hat behind him. Bandana goes on, it's time to get serious. And then he proceeds to not inflict any damage on Kaido. Hello, darkness, my friend. So then, of course, we've got the panel with Luffy, and Kaido is sitting there gassing our boy up. And of course, you know, we talked about it. He had big Pirate King energy, but then Kaido likens him to the caliber of Roger, Whitebeard, Odin, Rocksteady, Zebek, and Shanks, who, as far as we know, is the only living one that he mentioned. The internet went crazy. Where's Garp? Where's Mihawk? You know, top 5s, top 30s all need to be adjusted now, right? Look. Stop. Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right. Just because Garp wasn't listed does not mean that Garp is a fraud or anything like that. Now, Garp is a character that we need to know more about, which is why, you know, I have my whole sword theory and everything that is more about Garp than it is about Law, because Garp is a character that needs more nuance to him. He's too flip-floppy right now, but at the same time, he's still on that level with Roger, so you can't really say anything about that. And while we're on the topic of power scaling and all that, you need to adjust your top 30s accordingly, okay? Because we get confirmation. We get confirmation, concrete, okay?
That if Killer had his Punishers on, Zoro would not have won that battle. That battle would have gone a completely different way. Completely different. If he had his Punishers on, Killer would have won. Killer, Zoro. Yeah, adjusted accordingly. Okay, confirmation confirmed.
Savage.
Oh, man. All in all, 1001, super fun chapter. Okay, but I'm excited for 1002. We're going to leave all of this. We're going to exit this, I imagine. You know, Oda's going to take a step back, he's going to take a break, and he's going to show us what's going on downstairs and come back to this later. You know, he's given us... Where he ended it is a good stopping point to come back later and see what's going on. Because there's a lot of stuff going on downstairs. We got Marco versus 2 commanders. We've got Tama's plan. You know, of course, we need to know more about Tama's plan and the whole Usopp and Nami business to begin with. And you know, my agenda is I need some dangos flying. I need dangos to come off the cheek and the Usopp to start making them fly. Okay, just like I wanted Frankie to fight Sasuke, and that's happened. Oda, let's get some dangos flying. Come on. I want to see some more Jinbei versus Who's Who. I want Robin and Brook to come up and bail out Sanji. Take over the Black Maria fight. Let's get some Thriller Bark parallels against Talaran. There's a lot to cover. I mean, but Perospero versus Carrot, Oda, you can wait until 10 if you want.
Savage.
Okay. There's other more pressing matters. Oh, man. But I gotta say, if Zoro is going to open Odin's Scar, the feat that the Scabbards could not do, now is the time. Now's the time. Because Kaido went back into his dragon form. And we know that Odin performed that particular feat initially and made the scar while Kaido was in his dragon form. So it only makes sense that it would be reopened in his dragon form. But as it stands right now, that might have to wait. We might be, I'm right back onto the train that we are going to catch a big fat L right here and have to regroup, train, come back. Certain plot twists that we may not be able to figure out right now that probably involve Big Mom will take us through to Act 4, Act 5. Everything at the Reverie is probably going to become relevant. The Revolutionary Army still has a stake in Wano. Can they appear? We'll see. Could we win? Yeah. Oda does want to end the series quicker. But as far as storytelling perspective goes, we should lose here. Not even that we will or that I think we will. We really should. Because we still have not had that Sabaody level moment. That all is lost moment. We need that. Could 1002 be the end of Act 3, like so many have theorized? We'll find out next week. This week. All right, I'm going to wrap this up here. I want to thank everybody that came to the live stream for 1001. We're going to do another one for 1002. It's a lot easier to do the streams, and then once I get some time during the week, I can do a video like this. Much appreciation to everybody that donated during the stream. Shout out to IMD King and Sensei Inc. My guys came in and flexed on me for my son. I appreciate it. My son appreciates it. To everybody that's in the Discord, everybody that is playing Bounty Rush with me in between feedings and diaper changes. You know, we got a good alliance going. A lot of fun there. Yeah, you know, what a time to be alive, guys. If you like this content, hit like, hit subscribe, tune into the savagery. 1002 this week. Thanks again, everybody. The support is so appreciated. More videos will be coming soon. We'll be getting back into the regular flow of things, you know, sometime in February or March, I imagine, all right? So just bear with me until then. I appreciate it. Thanks again, everybody.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.